How I understand Baba in Sai Satcharitra chapter 1.
In this chapter, Hemant Pant gives first salutation to Ganesha. He thanks him and invites him to be present. To Saraswati, to all other deities of all forms, and to the saints of all times. He pleases his closest families to be here. And finally, Hemant Pant calls his beloved Satguru Shri Sai Baba, an incarnation of Shri Dattatreya, his sole refuge, and who makes him realize that Parabrahm is the only reality.
When Baba starts grinding the wheat, Hemant Pant gets a thought.
What business Baba had with grinding the wheat when he possessed nothing and stored nothing, and he lived on alms?
This I thought arises in Hemant Pant and creates a different reality. This thought, in the moment, had no value and was useless. Then, in very next sentence, he says that all such many people had the same thought, none had the courage to ask Baba, to be honest to him, to be direct to him. Why does Hemant Pant uses this sentence at the middle of this chapter? It makes no sense to give comments by himself, to put his judgmental eye thought on Baba's action. But Hemant Pant's usage of this sentence describes his humbleness, as he was aware that it was his eye thought on Baba's action. If the mind is silent and has the inner impulse to ask Baba spontaneously, then it's better to have the courage to ask Baba honestly and directly. It is better to have the courage to stay with the Almighty everywhere and to live fully in His presence. And if there is such a thought which is not clear, what Baba is doing, how Baba is acting, then why not ask Baba directly?
Then 4 women came out of the crowd. They forced their way up and, pushing Baba aside forcibly, took the bag or handle into the hands and, singing Baba's Leela, started grinding.
This means there were 4 ladies who took over Baba, pushing aside and took over what Baba was doing, and that day, and do this in the way how they think they have to do it. But they did it with love. They sang and they did it with devotion. So Baba was pleased and began to smile, even in the situation where he was tossed aside and overtaken. Then the next eye thought arose in the ladies while they were grinding. They began to think that Baba had no house, no property, no children, none to look after, and lived on alms, and therefore he did not require any wheat flour or making bread or roti. They thought, what will he do with this large quantity of flour? They thought that as Baba is very kind, he will distribute the flour amongst them. This was the thought of the woman, and they tried to possess the flour, which belonged to Baba, which Baba was grinding before. Then Baba was very angry. Hemad Pant writes in his book.
Baba, who was calm and quiet up till now, got wild and started abusing them, saying, "Ladies, have you gone mad? Whose father's property are you looting away? Have I borrowed any wheat from you so that you can safely take the flour? Now do this. Take this flour and throw it on the village borders."
This means, am I in debt to you that you think you can take something from me? Do I have any loan from you? Did I borrow something from you that you can say that it is mine? Then he gives an instruction which is not grasped by the mind, because it's very unreasonable to throw the wheat flour on the village borders. In the time when wheat is very precious because of hunger during cholera epidemic, he says something which makes them more crazy. All such the women were ashamed and was not sure why Baba asked them to do so. They still did because they were deeply devoted to him. During those days, there was cholera, it's true. But the true cholera is the identification with the mind and its thoughts. The people are not asking others what she wants like. How can I help you? Can I help you in doing this, or what you want with this? How are you? And do you need any help? Are you thirsty? Are you hungry? Do you have any pain? I'm here for you. Please let me know. Can I help you? The cholera is inside us, that we are not able to open up for the needs of others. We overtake others' will. We overtake others' freedom. We overtake others' privacy and try to prioritize them for our own advantages, for our own hidden thoughts, for our own needs, for our own identities. And we are not able to see that we are misusing the other one. We make them slaves. That's the cholera. And you can see in our times now that every state, every nation thinks first on themselves. And they don't come together and ask what is needed in Europe as a whole, what is needed in Asia, what is needed in Africa or South America. We are sisters and brothers on one earth, and we have to face our challenges on earth as one. It is necessary for everyone to see their subconsciousness by themselves first, and to open up wide for others, that we allow the others to see their subconsciousness, not judging them, letting them free as they are, and see that it is created by God's love itself. And this love creates different forms, and they are welcomed on earth how they are. So if we can bring up our I thought, our subconsciousness, our identities, then we can face them. So we make our subconsciousness aware. This process deepens us more and more in consciousness itself. The consciousness cannot be better or less. It's consciousness itself. comparison doesn't exist in consciousness. Hemat Pant said in one sentence,
It was the firm conviction of Baba that knowledge or self-realization is not possible unless there is the prior act of grinding of all our impulses, desires, sins, and of three gunas, viz. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, and the Ahankar, the ego, which is so subtle and therefore so difficult to get rid of.
this is the core of chapter 1. There is no enlightenment without the awareness of the subconsciousness. To live free as free being, we have to be ready to look honestly on what is ruling us as inside and what is ruling our mind, what is ruling our body, what is ruling our emotions. Now I want to speak about the last part of Sai Satcharitra, chapter 1.
This reminds us of the similar story of the Kabir, who seeing a woman grinding corn said to his guru Nipat Niranjan, I am weeping because I feel the agony of being crushed under this wheel of worldly existence, like the corn in the handmill. His guru then replied,
Do not be afraid. Hold fast to the handle of the knowledge of this mill as I do, and do not wander far away from the same, but turn inward to the center, and you are sure to be saved. What does it mean? The corn which is grinded is a sin. The hand mill, the above stone, is the bhakti, and the below one is the karma. The handle is gyan. If you hold with your hand on the handle of gyan, of knowledge, strongly, and you are completely focused, centered in the middle of the hand mill, where there is no movement, then you fall in the silence, in the Parabrahm, in your true self, which is your true nature. Just like everything that come in the way of a hurricane is destroyed, but the middle of hurricane, there is no movement at all. There is silence. That is Brahm. If you are able to focus on Brahm in the middle of the mill, then you can be happy that all your sins get crushed in the bhakti of your guru to his guru, and you are released of your karma. Om Sai Ram.